several states, with whiteout conditions making travel too dangerous.
I'll just go to the hotel and relax and hope for the best. That's all. There's nothing I can do about it. It's not in my hands.
And with more delays or cancellations possible from this storm, anyone flying out of Orlando is encouraged to check with their airline ahead of time and also arrive at least 2 hours early before departure. For now, reporting at Orlando International Airport, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Stress this enough to know your passenger rights. We've got a story about that on clickorlando.com as well. All right, developing at noon, we are working to get you more information about a brush fire that happened in Orlando. So the fire department says crews are working on a brush fire on Arnold Palmer Drive. That's right off South Kirkman Road. We do know there are homes and businesses in that area. So, of course, we're reaching out to officials as we speak. We're trying to find out if any road closures are impacted, if anybody is hurt. Once we do learn more, we'll bring you updates on clickorlando.com. All right, 12:07 here. This is another concerning story new at noon. The Volusia Sheriff's Office is asking for your help to find the riders of an e-bike involved in a hit-and-run crash that injured a 5-year-old. Deputies say it happened just north of Sunsplash Park in Daytona Beach. This is a picture VSO posted on social media. Witnesses say 2 teens on an e-bike hit that kid. They said they stopped for a moment to apologize and then took off. Deputies say the 5-year-old is at the hospital, is expected to be okay, but anybody with information, you should call the Volusia Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. All right, let's get to an emotional scene in a Pine Hills neighborhood. Take a look. The community together for a special walk. This was on Sunday, marking 3 years since the death of 9-year-old Tiana Major. She's a young girl who was affectionately known as Yaya and one of 3 people killed in a crime spree on the same day back in 2023. Your Orange County community correspondent, Jana Manahalal, joined that walk. She spoke with friends about what this means.
Today is actually the 2nd annual Peace Walk. That's what we're calling it, a Yaya Peace Walk.
Sunday, February 22nd, marked 3 years since 9-year-old Tiana Yaya Major was shot and killed.
3 years without her. And the walk is 2 laps around this block.
Yes.
And why is that significant?
2/22 is when she passed, February 22nd, 2023. So we keep the number 2 in mind, yeah, and then between 9 and 11 because she was born on 9/11.
Amen.
Amen. Pine Hills was the elementary school that Tiana was attending at the time of the shooting. They said they continue to hold this walk here in honor of her legacy.
Angel Grantley is Tiana's aunt and is still grieving.
Those little things that I don't get to do with her anymore makes me sad.
Jamila Harrison carried a picture with all the students that Pine Hills Elementary had lost within the span of 6 weeks that year, 2 from gun violence.
So as a music teacher, I get her every year. So I had the opportunity to watch her grow from kindergarten up until her demise in 3rd. So I had her every single year.
How did her classmates respond to this?
Her absence was felt even among her classmates. Some of them came to the funeral, and you can actually see the impact of her loss.
Keith Moses was arrested and charged with the murder of Tiana Major, as well as 38-year-old Natasha Augustine and local news reporter Dylan Lyons. Since Tiana's death, her family and Florida lawmakers, including Florida Representative Rashawn Young, have been working to implement a new emergency system designed to send an alert if there is an active scene near a school or child care facility.
They wake up to honor Tiana's life and to make sure that they are fulfilling what she would have wanted.
On Orange County, I'm your community correspondent, Jada Manahol, News 6.
Thank you for that report. Leaders in Sanford are set to sign off on a multi-million-dollar plan to improve drinking water. Coming up, we'll tell you why the city says it's needed and also the big lawsuit they're hoping is going to pay for that upgrade.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Welcome back. Happening today, a plan to improve water quality for Sanford neighbors. It's about to take a very big and expensive step forward. City leaders are set to vote in just a few hours on a new plan for a multi-million-dollar treatment facility. Your Seminole County community correspondent Mark Lehman has the story.
Today's vote is happening as Sanford is suing General Dynamics and Siemens, which use cleaning solvents in a now closed factory off of Reinhardt Road. The city claims that somehow those chemicals made it into the water, and while the measurements are about half the federal advisory level, Sanford says an upgraded treatment plan is needed to make sure they're eliminated.
There's something in the water in Sanford, and the city wants to make sure it doesn't end up in your glass.
If you don't drink good water, then you're contaminating your body.
Some residents tell us they were unaware of the tests a few years back that found higher levels of a chemical solvent called 1,4-dioxane in drinking water, the EPA designating the contaminant as likely carcinogenic.
How concerning is it that there may be cancer-causing chemicals in the water?
Get rid of them. Get rid of the companies that are producing the cancer.
Sanford has since filed a lawsuit against the former owners of a now shuttered telecommunications plant where a plume of the dangerous chemical was found underground. Today, the city is set to move forward with plans to build a new water treatment facility.
I think it's a good idea if it's going to benefit the public. That's what I think. I honestly, myself, I don't drink this water.
The plant would be similar to one in Lake Mary, which uses hydrogen peroxide and ultraviolet light to destroy forever chemicals from drinking water. It also comes with a price tag of more than $50 million.
Let's all hope it works well. That's all I can say.
Now, the city would only have to pay back the loan for the new water treatment plant if they're awarded money from the current lawsuit. Commissioners are set to discuss this during a closed-door meeting this afternoon, and then they'll vote on the funding plan at their regular meeting at 7 tonight. For now, reporting in Sanford, I'm your Seminole County community correspondent, Mark Lehman, News 6.
All right, Mark, thank you. Here is a live look at our launch credit union Port Cam at Port Canaveral. We are just barely flirting with 50s today. A lot of folks resting in the 40s. That lets you know we are a far cry from the weekend. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos bringing us this cold, should we call it a cold snap, or how do we want to refer to it? Cold snap?
This is not going to be the same cold wave that we dealt with a couple weeks ago.
No.
This is going to be more of that typical Florida cold snap. Some areas might get down into those 30s, but area-wide we are looking at freeze warnings pretty much for everyone, with the exception of you guys along the immediate coastline in Brevard. But yes, this cold air is really settling in today. So today is the coldest afternoon. Tomorrow morning will be the coldest morning. So that News 6 weather app is going to be super handy for you, especially as you're trying to run out the door tomorrow. You want to get a better gauge on how cold it is outside. That's going to be your best bet, other than watching us on News 6 morning. So you can see plenty of snow right now, blizzard, whiteout conditions across the Great Lakes in the Northeast. And you can see that low spinning. That's the tail end of that front that brought us and continues to drag in a lot of that cold air. Now, as you can see here, our live look all across Central Florida, nothing but blue skies. We have a big ridge of high pressure, cold high that's going to continue to bring our winds in pretty strong out of the northwest, between 15 to 20 miles per hour. But right now, Kissimmee, you guys are still in the 40s. We're at 53 in Port Canaveral, 51 in Orlando International Airport and Daytona Beach. It's not an ideal beach or boating day by any means this afternoon, but it's still a pretty shot there. But now let's check on your hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
Here in Central Florida, we're used to talking about record highs, right? And that's normally when it's super hot. Well, there's another option. It's record low highs, basically cold highs. And that's what we're pretty close to, actually flirting with some records. The coldest afternoon on this day was 54, going to be about 55 degrees. Could be pretty close in Daytona Beach as well as Leesburg, something we're going to be watching pretty closely. Later on tonight, after we stay in the 50s throughout the majority of our day, temperatures are going to be tumbling pretty quickly. Notice areas north and west of the I-4 corridor will be down at or below freezing. We do have a new web article on clickorlando.com breaking down each county and how long the freeze is going to be. It is not going to be anywhere near the extent that we dealt with when it comes to the duration of freeze or how deep the freeze is expected to be. But if you do have any plans that are still somewhat alive, this, even if it's a short blast of freezing temperatures, could not be great for a lot of the plants that are barely hanging on. So just want to give you a heads up that frost and freeze certainly will be a very good chance later on tonight, early tomorrow morning. So that's the best time, is this afternoon, to bring in those sensitive plants or cover them up. I think for the most part, pipes across Central Florida should be good to go. So we have cold weather to be concerned about. We also have extremely dry conditions across Central Florida. We could be getting down into the teens, especially come Tuesday afternoon. So not only is it dry, it's very windy. That is once again upping the fire threat. So again, we're talking about gusty winds. We have that red flag warning that will remain in effect until 7 o'clock tonight. We're hearing that there is the potential for another brush fire happening in Volusia County. We, of course, will be sending you updates on our News 6 app, but you can see we are tracking the potential for a little more rain in the forecast, though, as we head into the weekend. We'll have to wait and see, really dialing into the timeline of that. But in the meantime, though, do expect another very chilly start tomorrow.
All right, we can't say we weren't warned, Chief. Thank you. The Olympics may be over, but not before Team USA stunned Canada in overtime. Wait till you see this and hear from one of the players from right here in Orlando who helped in that major victory. Also, coming up on News 6 tonight.
I have not heard of a provision like this anywhere else in the country. It would make it practically impossible for charitable bail organizations like the Bail Project and others to operate in Florida.
A new bill could shut down charities that help people make bail. Later on, why critics say this could not only pack jails, but cost taxpayers millions. And before we let you go, a quick live look at downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. You definitely need the jacket today, and you will certainly need it tomorrow. We'll have more on your forecast right after this. We'll be right back. All right, the Olympics, they're now officially over, but not before a big win for Team USA in men's hockey, and that includes Orlando natives Jack and Quinn Hughes. Now, Jack, he's the one that scored the game-winning goal in overtime, no less. This was in the finals versus Canada yesterday. Both of the brothers were emotional, of course, after that big win.
It's a journey. It's the whole lifetime of work, and, you know, I'm just a part of that. So I think every single person in that game tonight can be proud, and obviously it was a great game, and we were the team with the better outcome, but just a great game between USA and Canada.
All right, it's hard to see here, but his front teeth are all but knocked out. The things we do for the sports we love, my goodness. The win, it does give USA its first gold medal in ice hockey since the Miracle on Ice squad back in 1980 at Lake Placid. Congrats to them. We'll be right back.
All right, get ready for another very, very chilly night. Temperatures in Orlando will be down into those 30s. North and west of Orlando, though, down to freezing for maybe an hour or two. So just do be aware if you have any plants that you need to take care of, that they're still holding on by a thread, by a root.
Barely.
And then temperatures as we head into Tuesday, a touch warmer. We'll get back into the 80s. Hopefully get some much needed rain in the forecast towards the end of the week.
Holding on by a leaf at this point, by anything. All right, bundle up, friends. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.